And hello everybody, welcome back to RFC News. Yet another transfer update, as there seems to be a bit of a twist that has emerged. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier on today we spoke about Andreas Olsson, and at the time of recording, of course that deal has been agreed, and he's said to be in Glasgow for a medical, which is fantastic. I do really like the look of the player. Certainly if he can sort of recapture that Club Brugge form, he's going to be a very, very good addition to our team, and certainly one for the future. I really like the fact that yes, it was a loan move, but also at the same time we do have the option to buy, which we didn't have, or at least I didn't think, or maybe we didn't have the means to facilitate a move for Václav Černý and Sima that time around. But it does seem as though that will be our sort of second edition. However, we do have a bit of a transfer update for you, and as stated in the intro at the start, there has been a twist that has emerged, because we reported to you on these two Premier League targets that Rangers had made official inquiries over. However, as stated, there looks like there may just be a bit of a spanner in the works. As always, guys, we are going to be breaking down this story, but first, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. So, yes, guys, as you can see here, remember this story that was coming from Keith Dowie. And now, Keith Dowie is, of course, a Sky Sports Northeast correspondent, actually very, very reputable when it comes to sort of transfer news with regard to Newcastle and, of course, to Sunderland. And he essentially said that Rangers had made inquiries to Sunderland for two of their promotion-winning players. The Scottish Giants have registered their interest in midfielder Dan Neil and winger Romain Mundle. So that was the update, and we did report it to you here on RFC News. But since then, there has been another update and a little bit of a twist that has emerged over the last hour or so. Keith Dowie, the same guy who, of course, reported on the initial contact by Rangers, has said that Sunderland want to keep Romain Mundle despite the growing interest from the likes of Feyenoord and Rangers. Both clubs are thought to be considering moves for Mundle after making known their interest in the winger. Mundle wants more game time at Sunderland, having only made 8 substitute appearances so far this season. So what that tells us right now is that Sunderland want to keep the player. However, the player wants to go out there and get sort of game time, and as stated here, as you can see, both clubs are thought to be considering moves for Mundle after making known their interest in the winger. So that suggests from that we're still, of course, keeping tabs, and still suggests that we could be making a potential move for him. These ones would be a loan move. However, having said that, Sunderland may be a little bit resistant, despite, as they said, that they want to keep him. But if he's only playing 8 substitute appearances, he's clearly not in sort of direct need at this moment in time at Sunderland, then of course probably a loan deal would suit. So watch this space with regard to these two. However, one player that was sort of whetting the appetite, so to speak, with Rangers fans was that of Dan Neil. And now FC Köln are said to have joined the list of clubs interested in signing Dan Neil, who is out of contract in the summer. So this may just be an interesting one, because the initial report stated that we were interested in Dan Neil as well. But if his contract expires in the summer, what we could be potentially looking at as a pre-contract agreement. He should be able to sort of speak to other clubs now that he's into January, especially international clubs. And of course, Scotland does count as an international club when it comes to sort of the Premier League. However, FC Köln are the latest club that are registering interest. So a bit of a twist in this sort of transfer saga, but be sure we'll be keeping you up to date with all the developments that come our way. In other news, Nathan Patterson could yet find himself at the centre of an emotional Rangers return as his Everton future continues to drift towards a crossroads. The Scotland international left Ibrox in January 2022 in a deal worth around £16 million, a fee that raised eyebrows across British football at the time. Rangers were reluctant sellers but recognised the scale of the offer, while Everton viewed Patterson as a long-term solution at right back. The move was sanctioned under Rafa Benitez's watch on Merseyside, and the price alone underlined just how highly the 24-year-old was rated. Former Rangers striker Ali McCoist was among those stunned by the numbers involved when the transfer was confirmed, describing the fee as remarkable for a player still early in his senior career. It also cemented Patterson's status as one of the most valuable academy products the club had produced in modern times. However, nearly 4 years on, Patterson's Everton spell has never truly gathered momentum. Persistent injury issues, managerial changes, and fierce competition for places have all contributed to a frustrating period that has seen his development stall. While his talent has never been questioned, opportunities have been sporadic at best. The raw appearance figures tell a sobering story. Patterson has never made more than 26 appearances in a single season for the Toffees, with his campaign-by-campaign involvement reflecting both fitness problems and a lack of consistent trust from successive managers. In the 2021/22 season, he made 1 appearance. In the 2022/23 season, he made 23 appearances and got 1 assist. In the 2023/24 season, he made 26 appearances and contributed 2 assists. In the 2024/25 season, he made 11 appearances and got 1 assist. And so far this campaign, he has only made 4 appearances. That trend has continued this season under David Moyes, with Patterson afforded just 77 minutes of Premier League football so far. For a player entering what should be the prime years of his career, that lack of regular action is increasingly difficult to justify. As a result, speculation around a potential Rangers return has begun to gather pace once again. A temporary move north of the border is being viewed as a realistic solution that could benefit all parties, particularly with Rangers on an upward trajectory under Danny Röhl. Former Everton scout Brian King believes a loan move could make sense and has suggested that Patterson himself would be open to the idea if the opportunity arose. Speaking on the situation, King said, "They're climbing up the table, but things seem to have calmed down. He's the kind of player who could help them because he's not getting a game at Everton and could be a solution to put him out on loan. Anything would be beneficial for him right now because as a footballer, he will just want to play football. I don't think Rangers are in a position to buy him, but they can certainly afford a loan fee. He knows the football club, and if he has the chance, he would go back there. I'm sure he would." Despite his limited minutes, Patterson has shown encouraging signs when called upon. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.